Let's move on to our fifth main topic today. And our fifth and final main topic today gets sent in to us from Kelly McGovern, who writes, "Hey guys, I just read the craziest thing that Tim Miller, when he was still going to direct Deadpool 2, now remember, Tim Miller directed the first Deadpool. He did not direct the second one, but he did just direct Terminator Dark Fate, just getting that all straightened out. Tim Miller, when he was still going to direct Deadpool 2, was actually going to have Fantastic Four's The Thing pop up in the third act of the film and actually be the one to battle Juggy, that's Juggernaut. He was also not going to kill Morena Baccarin's Vanessa, but rather have her become the vigilante called Copycat. Do you think they missed out on these things?" All right, thanks a lot for sending in that question. And first of all, let's say this. Deadpool 2, I love it. I love Deadpool 2. It was, up until a week ago, the number 2 R-rated box office film of all time. It is now number 3 because, of course, Joker hopscotched both Deadpool films and is up there now. It is a worthy follow-up to the first Deadpool. I loved it. I thought it was incredible the way it all worked out. And one of the highlights of the movie for me was Colossus fighting Juggernaut at the end. I loved that scene. That thing's great. Tim Miller, of course, who did such a spectacular job directing the first film, he was supposed to come back. And then we've never really got, I don't think we've ever gotten the real reason about why all of a sudden out of nowhere he was no longer directing Deadpool 2. It was especially odd because it appeared like him and Ryan Reynolds got along very well. He worked very well with the two writers of the film as well. So I don't think we ever truly got the real story. Maybe we never will, and that's fine. He went on, he did Terminator Dark Fate, kind of, redeemed the Terminator name a little bit. So good on him. It is interesting about what his plans for Deadpool were going to do, because at the time, Fantastic Four, Fox was still a separate entity. Fantastic Four belonged to them. If he was going to kind of play in that world the same way he played with the X-Men world, which wouldn't have affected the continuity of either, because Deadpool was really living in its own little bubble anyway. He lived in an X-Men universe where only 2 X-Men lived in the X-Men mansion. So just keep that in mind. But it would have been a very interesting change of direction. Now, do I think they missed out on something? I'm going to go ahead and say no. I don't think they missed out on anything, because the movie we got, Deadpool 2, was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. But I'd be lying if I didn't say it would have been kind of interesting to see what Miller would have done there. Rob, you hear about all this. Was that a missed opportunity? Did they make the right decision and go in the right direction? How do you think this could have been handled differently? What do you think about this?
Look, I didn't like Deadpool 2 as much, but on visiting a second and third time, I've come to like Deadpool 2 probably as much as the original. I would dearly have loved to have seen The Thing in the Deadpool universe. Fun. I mean, if there's one character in the Marvel universe that could belong in a Deadpool movie, it's Ben Grimm. And I would love to have seen that. And also, I killing Morena Baccarin, I wept as if she was my sister. I was so sad. Who doesn't love her?
Oh, she's amazing.
She's amazing, and she's amazing in those movies. I love her to pieces, and if she could have been a superhero and watching Deadpool and Copycat fighting side by side, come on. That would have been great. So this is, the road not taken. There's always regrets, and I'm sad we didn't see this, but that doesn't mean we can't see something like it in the future.
Sure. By the way, Morena Baccarin, of course, became a forever imbued in all of our thoughts and minds when she was in Firefly. As, what did they call it? She not a consort? What was the name of her profession again?
But yes, she was a
prostitute,
a lady of the evening.
Yeah,
yes.
But it, in that world, it was a highly revered kind of role and position in the thing, and it was a very high class sort of thing, right? One of the funniest moments in television history, to me, was when her new client arrives, and it's a big government, important government official thing, and it turned out being another woman that showed up, right? And Adam Baldwin, who played Jane on the show, one of the great television characters.
Yeah.
All the crew is standing there. Nathan Fillion's standing there. The whole crew standing there as Morena Baccarin welcomes her new client aboard. And Adam Baldwin as Jane just, I'm going to be in my bunk. And he turns around and walks off. One of the great Jane moments ever. in that show. And by the way, she was one of the few things I really liked about Gotham. Morena Baccarin in Gotham. She was actually quite good in that. That's where she met. I think they got married.
Yes, they did. Shout out to Benjamin McKenzie from the OC, brah.
Yeah. So and the guy who played Commissioner Gordon,
getting married to her.
Yeah, they that's where they met, developed a relationship. They got married. So a lot of great things. She's just stellar. And how you take a character like Vanessa in that first Deadpool movie. And yeah, of course, she's a good-looking girl. She can make her look sexy. That's fine. But she was able to play this character in such a way that you totally believed in the character. You totally believed that she was feisty and hilarious, but loving and caring, and also this wild side, which made her appeal to Wade, and all. Like, she did such a good job. I hate comic book movie romances. Generally, there are very, very small few that work for me. Tony and Pepper, that one works for me.
Medusa and Black Box. That's my favorite.
Black
not as popular.
Black Bolt, sorry.
Black Bolt.
Black Bolt.
Black Box. I'm like,
Hey.
what have I missed out on?
Adam Garfield and Emma Stone and the Amazing. I really did buy their relationship, but Wade and Vanessa was just one of the best. Like, you believed Deadpool would have moved heaven and earth to get back to her and that. And then, so when she dies in Deadpool 2,
dude, I was mad.
Felt it.
I was so mad. I'm like,
I felt it. She's so freaking great. Anyway, what were we even talking about here? Oh, yes, Deadpool 2 and what they would have done. Anyway, Aaron, you hear about these things that the could-have-beens, and the could-have-beens are always funny stories, but do you think they made the right decision moving in the direction that they did? Do you think it was a missed opportunity? How do you see this?
Well, here's where I'm confused. Admittedly, most of my work is in television, which is a writer's medium, so it's a little bit of a different situation. But how is it that the director would say, oh, these are all the characters that I was going to put in this movie? Wouldn't that be the writers that would be putting them in?
No.
It's
in
the world of features, a director literally can just go, oh, I want this character and we're doing this.
I mean, look, it all depends. Sometimes the producers set those paces, but really, that's one of the big differences between the movie medium and the television medium. In the television medium, the directors work for the writers. In the movie medium, the writers work for the directors. The director's on set, director's king. But in television, the director only directs. In most cases,
unless it's the pilot.
A director will come in and direct 1 or 2 episodes of a season, and then next week's episode gets passed on to another director.
Right.
The constant is the writers who control the whole flow of the show. And the first AD.
Don't forget the first AD.
In the movies, the director oversees everything from start to finish.
But even when it comes to like adding characters aren't in the script, I guess
it depends between the producers may come in and say, this is what we want our movie to be, and then the director will step in and say, okay, I understand what it is you want. Now it's my job to take what it is you want, and I'm going to be the one responsible for bringing that all for fruition. You hired the writers; they're going to write their screenplay. I'll let them know what we need to change and.
Yeah, and I think, but there's also a world in which, and I'm not saying that was not the intention going into the movie, but there's also a world, I mean, I know I certainly have been in a position, not that position, but being able to say, well, if I had done it, I would have done all of these things. Maybe things that came to my mind much later after the fact. So, I mean, would we have seen it if he had been the director? Maybe, maybe not. We don't know. But I agree with Rob. Like, that doesn't mean that we won't be able to see. I love a crossover. I love seeing characters come in from one world and venture into another. So I would have loved to see it as well. But that doesn't mean that there's not a world in which we could see it somewhere in the future.
I mean, they all belong to Disney now.
And plus, Tim Miller, as John Schnepp used to say, was a huge sweaty. He was a huge comic book nerd. So I'm sure after Deadpool 1, he was open with these suggestions and said, this is what I would like to do. Let's incorporate that. Maybe that was where the tension arose, or maybe that's why he was overstepping. I don't know, but he's a massive comic book fanatic.
Because that first one was very much the way Ryan Reynolds describes it, it was very much a 4-way collaboration.
Yep.
Ryan Reynolds, Reese, Wernick, and Miller, the 2 writers, the director, and the overall, the creative force behind it all was Ryan Reynolds. The 4 of them really did work together in a very good flow. But this is one of those rare movies too, where the star of the film was also the boss. He was the one pushing this. He's the one who pushed this whole project forward. He's the one who got it landed. He's the one who got it greenlit. He's the one who did everything. So it was an interesting situation. Again, I'll always wonder why Tim Miller didn't do the second one. They've said some things that I don't really buy, but I mean, we don't ever really know. Question is, guys, what do you think? Are you perfectly happy like I am with the direction that Deadpool 2 went? Or are you kind of like, man, seeing the Thing pop up there? Imagine seeing Colossus and the Thing teaming up to fight Juggernaut.
Dude.
Am I breaking your heart a little bit right now?
You know, I feel like I've missed out on something I should have had in my life.
Anyway, you guys jump on down to the comment section below and let me know what you guys think. All right, guys.